9 News at 4 starts right now.
Bring on the playoffs. Bring on the Heisman. Colorado keeps its college football title hopes alive with a statement win at Folsom Field. Boulder is more excited about its team than it's been in years.
Headed in the right direction. That was a phenomenal finish.
A plan to consolidate firefighting resources in the foothills, why leaders believe one chief will be better than 3. And so many people got to soak in the beautiful weather during the holiday weekend, we are tracking how long it will all last. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeremy Hohola. 3 fire departments in Jefferson County are preparing to merge into one agency. Elk Creek, North Fork, and Inter Canyon Fire will soon go by one name, and that is Conifer Fire. Today, 9 News reporter Evan Krugel sat down with all 3 chiefs to talk about why they're doing this and the impact it'll have on the community.
It's a very dangerous situation that we have in the mountain areas here.
Colorado's foothills are filled with beautiful twists and turns. But the US 285 corridor provides plenty of challenges for firefighters responding to calls.
It is a big area.
A big area Chief Kurt Rogers patrols a portion of.
Hey, Chief.
Along with Chiefs Jacob Ware and Skip Sherlock, 3 chiefs who happen to be good friends.
We're the most humble people you ever meet, I promise.
These 3 know each other well because multiple times each week they respond to calls in each other's districts.
The process now is we go to an event and then call on each other mutual aid. So there's a delay in the dispatching of a call or, getting resources to an event like that. So the wildland urban interface I touched on earlier, it is our biggest threat in the mountain areas. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when we'll have events that we have to deal with up here.
Those responses are about to look a bit different as the 3 departments prepare to merge into one called Conifer Fire. Chief Rogers will lead the new department and says the money they save by joining forces will allow them to pay more firefighters, reducing their reliance on volunteers and increasing response times.
So we're just getting out the door much faster.
With unification, we'll be able to build better response plans and move equipment around in a quicker fashion to help service that area.
All 3 chiefs admit it's tough to leave behind these logos and the legacies they represent, but they say change is necessary.
We get it, change is scary, and we get that. It's sometimes scary for us as well, but we understand that and truly believe this is what's best for our community.
And while the logos may change, the people inside will not.
Most people don't really care what's on the side of the truck as long as we can provide the service.
The merger is expected to be finalized by the end of the year, with those changes beginning at some point next year. Reporting outside of Conifer, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
All 3 chiefs will stay on board in various roles, but Chief Rogers with North Fork will resume new role as chief. And let's take a live look outside right now. About an hour until sunset, and we are finally warming up after the snowstorm earlier this week. A lot of people getting outside today and took advantage of free admission at Colorado State Parks today. Lauren Robinson is tracking your weekend forecast tonight. Lauren, looks pretty good out there.
That's right. We're going to continue to see these sunny skies sit around, and we're also going to see temperatures warm gradually over the next several days. So we're going from days in the 30s with a little bit of snow right before Thanksgiving to 40s this weekend and 50s next week. Right now we're at 46 degrees at DIA. Most of the Front Range and Eastern Plains sitting in the 40s. A little cooler right now in Lyman, down to 28 degrees there. We're seeing 36 up in Greeley, and then the foothills into the high country anywhere from 0 degrees right now in Gunnison to 38 right just east of it in Salida. As you make your way into the western slope, we're seeing those temperatures in the upper 30s. But what this means is we're on track to continue our warming. Most of the state warmer than we were just 24 hours ago, with Denver seeing the biggest impacts. We're seeing a 16-degree warm up from just 24 hours ago. The rest of the Front Range and Eastern Plains following suit. So as we take a look at our live radar, not a whole lot happening over Colorado the next few days, and that's going to be due to a ridge of high pressure that's going to continue to bring sunny and warmer conditions. But coming up in my full 7-day forecast, we do have another cold night ahead as we wait for these gradually warming afternoons. We're also going to watch for some very windy conditions across the foothills. I'll have those details for you coming right up.
Alrighty, well, thankfully there are no reports of anybody getting hurt following a fire at a building in the town of Byers. This happened about 40 miles east of Denver. The Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office says flammable objects inside a building exploded. A couple dozen homes near the area were evacuated around noon as a precaution while firefighters worked to knock down that fire. It is under control now and people can go back home. Firefighters say the cause was accidental. They think the total loss here is about $1 million. Excuse me. Two suspects seen in a viral video showing armed men at an Aurora complex have been arrested in New York City. That's according to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. ICE says it has arrested Denir Amarillo Meneses and Edison Peña Angulo Wednesday after executing a search warrant. ICE says both are members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Aurora police have warrants for both of their arrests tied to the video from August of this year. It was recorded at the Edge at Lowry Apartments at 12th and Dallas. Warrants say they knocked on two doors, entered the apartments, and threatened residents. They were wanted for burglary and menacing. We are still waiting to hear more about what led up to their arrests in New York. That video received national attention and led to claims from President-elect Donald Trump that the city had been taken over by Venezuelan gangs. Police and city leaders have said the gang's presence is small. The state's health department believes one of its chemists fudged the numbers on testing for drinking water for years. 9 News Investigates first broke this story this month. Aaron Adelson explains exactly what the chemist is accused of doing.
Late last year, the state health department's lab leaders realized they had a problem. They found one chemist manipulated the data for a specific drinking water test. They now believe she had been doing that since at least 2020.
As a scientist, that one hurt.
Dr. April Hill teaches chemistry in MSU. She explains before you test what might be in the water, for quality control, you test a chemical you know before and after. That's to make sure the device is working.
So it lends some trustworthiness to the answers that you get for the unknown samples.
Instead, CDPHE told the EPA its chemists would combine different quality control tests together, replacing failing results.
From the day that students step into a general chemistry lab, their first day of college as a science major, they are taught that you do not cherry pick your data. You do not decide you don't like it and throw it away. And you certainly can't take data from 2 different tests and mash it together and act like it passed that test.
The state's report explains the chemist ran the test on an older device not connected to the internet. So the chemist needed to export data onto a thumb drive and then manually enter it onto a computer.
That leaves some room for mistakes or, as the case may be, fiddling with the data before you upload it.
The report states when the chemist was put on administrative leave, she tried to hide her thumb drive, which had the raw data. This action from Chemist A demonstrates she knew her actions in changing data were wrong. Because of this chemist, the state recalled results from more than 7,000 tests, and the federal government revoked the state's certification to perform a number of tests. A CDPHE spokesperson says this manipulation affected 3% of the state's drinking water systems. The state's chief medical officer does not believe there is an immediate public health threat.
If it's monitored properly, they should have caught this a long time ago.
In Denver, Aaron Adelson, 9 News.
The chemist has since retired from the health department in May. The department tells us a deputy director at the lab also resigned. And a recall to let you know about: whole fresh cucumbers produced by SunFed are under a recall over salmonella contamination. These were sold in about half the country, including here in Colorado, from mid-October until this past Tuesday. It's worth checking your fridge and throwing out any affected products.